Welcome back to another episode of the Dat Fitness Business Podcast. Tom Blackman with Dan Smith. Hello, Dan.
Hiya. Hello.
Hello.
How are
And
you?
today we are talking about December, which is generally for online clients a quiet time, or online coaches will say a quiet time, or people perceive it to be a quiet time. And a lot of people take the foot off the accelerator in December and think, well, no client's going to come anyway to my business, so I might as well not even bother with it. And obviously the issue there is that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So in today's podcast, we're going to talk about methods that we employ with our coaches to maybe not let them take the foot off the accelerator in December, line up for January, and also retain the clients that they've got in December. Because another thing is that people do leave quite in December. Oh, I'll be back in January, and then they never come back. So that's another thing we're going to talk about. Dan, anything to add to that intro? Tried to hit all the SEO there.
I think you probably did nail it. Nailed the SEO. We'll see. No, I've got nothing to add. Yeah, it's definitely something that what comes up every year, doesn't it? Doesn't go away. Christmas. So,
Yes. It's and Christmas, as you're going to find out, is a lot different when you're a father.
I've already
To
found out. Already found
yeah,
that out. I haven't seen Santa for nearly 40 years. So, well,
really, have you had any presents?
I don't know. I stopped getting presents when I was young boy.
But naughty, you're on the naughty list.
Naughty list, yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I still find it a little bit weird that he won't remember it, and I'm like, and I get it, it's for the memories,
Mm.
but I'm a little bit like, it'd be better when he's older. Yeah,
Yeah. When they find the presents and open the presents
yeah,
and they see the presents under the tree and. Jacob, we got presents under our tree already, and Jacob's shaking them, trying to see what they are. You know, that's all the
yeah.
stuff I used to do when I was a kid.
I know. I'm looking forward to that. I said to you earlier, I went to see his Father Christmas, and to be fair, he was really good with him. But
Mm.
my wife did a lot of prep work, was basically like showing him pictures and like singing Christmas songs at him, and then to be fair, it did work.
Mm.
He just wanted to grab his chair, and like, yeah, but it's good.
Excellent. Yeah, it gets better as they get older.
Yeah,
It's great now, but wait till they're older. Cool. So we're going to give coaches a little bit of a Christmas present with some tips on how to retain clients. So let's go into retaining clients first. So because one of the major issues is, um, what it's like. Oh, December's coming up. I'm going to eat loads of food. I'm not going to train. I've got to go and see family, so I'm not really needing a coach. So what I was thinking about doing was just cancelling my coaching during December, and but don't worry, I'll be back in January, and you know that they're just not coming back in January. Well, they might be back in like March or April, but they ain't coming back in January. It's going to take them a bit of time to get
yeah,
back on that horse. So there's the one issue, isn't there? Is the people think that they're not going to do anything, so they cancel, and then
yeah.
they obviously don't do anything, so they got a coach, and they reverse all the good stuff they've been doing in the last 6 months with you.
Yeah. That happens. This happened to me over the years, and like you're saying, most people don't come back. I think like I was going to pause. It's just a pause. Like
Just a pause, yeah.
never a pause. I've had some people come back, like genuinely, but
Mm.
most people don't. Like you say, people. I don't know who's. It's not anyone's fault that, but I would say that there's a disconnect somewhere in communication that's happening because you know that this period's coming up. Like we mentioned, it doesn't change every year. It's the same, right? So it's almost like having those conversations a little bit earlier to preempt what's going to happen, to maybe start talking about that time period earlier on. Because if you leave it up until even now or even like next week, it's probably too late. So
Mm.
have those conversations earlier to get people to start think about reflecting, but then also forward future planning as well. Because then you're starting to enter. When I was just going through this with the coaches, is like entering the conversations that are going on in their heads at the moment. So starting to think about how your clients are potentially thinking at the moment? Like, are they thinking about next year, or are they thinking about Christmas that's coming up, or are they have they even thought about what they've achieved this year? So there's a lot of things that you can start going to them with to gain like recommitment, or to get them to start thinking about the goals they want to achieve next year, which then is better for
Yeah.
you. Plus, it's your job, right? I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there, because we as humans, we focus on the present, don't we? And we hardly ever reflect on the past unless it's shown to us. 'Cause like Facebook memories come up. I see them all the time for the gym. It's like, wow, the gym has transformed massively in just 2 years. What we've done to it, but you don't think about that. You don't remember those things unless you're looking at a photo album or Facebook memories or something like that. And you're right about clients will not see the change they've made over the year if they've been with you for a year, because of where they are now. They just see themselves where they are, don't they? They're almost worth doing like a wrapped, like a Spotify wrapped, a year in review of your client's progress. To show them key moments and key things they've achieved. I mean, that wouldn't take much effort to go through your client's records, the conversations you've had, the WhatsApps, the comments, all those things, and just create a nice little Spotify wrapped, or it's like not Spotify, is it? But X person wrapped 2023, and showing their key moments during the year.
Yeah, that's quite a nice thing to do, isn't it? I think, or you could, same thing, isn't it? But just have some kind of process for reviewing it, whether that's a form, you just capture some information. Like, I know people would do these weekly check-ins and things and whatever, but if you've got something that's outside of that, just gets them to reflect on a few key things that have happened. I think that, like you say, like, people don't stop to do that anymore. So have some time out to do it. But yeah, there's some other things I was thinking about on that, where it was like having the conversations early. But there's things that you can do internally to keep people accountable, motivated, whatever, throughout that time period. So
Lock them into a contract for 3 years.
yeah, get them to sign. So you signed up for 12 months. What?
Yeah, it's only been 6.
No,
Can I just pause it?
I'm talking more on like, so you could set up some like internal challenges or things that could go on at the time. Like we were just chatting about this, and one of the coaches has set up 12 days of Christmas for her client base, and she's running that specifically around her niche and who she works with. And then one of the others is doing a Christmas quiz, which I thought was a brilliant idea, because that, I remember being in the fire service, and the annual Christmas quiz was huge. Like, people took it so seriously. It was
really,
ridiculous. Yeah. So she's doing. It's nothing really to do. It's just general knowledge, isn't it? But like, I think it's a great idea. Just keeping people involved, really.
So the Christmas quiz, what have they done? What have they done there? Like a score app thing?
I think it's not on Score App though, but like a quiz that they've just created themselves, like just general quiz. I think there's like a music round, maybe there's a guess the picture round thing. But
Really?
yeah,
Is that like an event that they do?
they're doing it on like a Zoom. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's really interesting. That's really like ingenious. Did they all turn up with like beers and stuff, like non-alcoholic beers?
I don't know. Yeah, because I got into the fact that, like, does anyone meet up? Does anyone do any in-person stuff? And because her clients all over the world, it was like, well, we just set up this quiz, and everyone takes it. They get really excited about it, and then when they're on there, they take it really seriously. So
do they have to like? How do they regulate people like Googling the answer or Chat GPT in the answer?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, this year?
Have to answer in 10 seconds.
Yeah. But
Everyone's got their VA like ready for this. Speed type into Chat GPT. Give me the answer.
They have to wear Christmas jumpers though. They have to wear Christmas attire. Good. Yeah.
Oh, well, my Christmas jumper yesterday. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio meme Christmas jumper.
Cool. Yeah, good one.
I walked around Cribs with it, and I got complimented 4 times, all from guys, of course. Like, cool jumper, mate.
Yes.
I used to have even, when COVID was on, I used to have a mask with the Leo mouth, with the with the mouth on it. I used to do my shopping with it. It's brilliant.
No.
Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. Yeah, so quizzes. So getting everyone together, a bit of a community thing, enhancing the community aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things you could do. Takes on that, just
Yeah.
fun, isn't it?
Yeah. We had. I used to run like a 12. You said about 12 days of Christmas. I used to use the 12 gains of Christmas. We used to have 12 workouts which anyone could do around the Christmas period,
Yeah,
and people would have to do the workout in like a hat, like a elf hat, and then post a picture of them doing it and their feedback from the workout. Yeah, it's just silly stuff that just help people, to
yeah,
help people get involved and get. Because the thing about Christmas sometimes is that you've got so much on Christmas presents and seeing relatives and everything else. Is that going to the gym sometimes goes down the list in terms of priorities, doesn't it? Because you've got all these other things. So if you've got, let's say, something an activity you've got to do. Well, I've got to go to the gym because I've got to get my selfie with my Christmas hat on. It's another thing, isn't it, to maybe motivate them into the gym and be part of the community.
yeah, yeah. It depends, doesn't it, who you work with? But a lot of those
Yeah,
things doesn't take much thought to get something set up, and then just the conversations around having that earlier, so you can get a feel for where people are at. Because some clients they really like the Christmas period because of the gym being quieter, and they can get in there and they've got more food, and they just like enjoy training like absolute animals. And I think you know that's a good thing as well. So it's
yeah,
understanding what your client base like that time, and some don't. Some are happy to go. Do you know what? I want these 2 weeks to just be. I'm not going to do much, and as long as you have the conversation around it, I think that's fine. Because otherwise, you might be sat there thinking, oh, well, I think this person might be leaving because they're not really doing much around this time period. But it's because you haven't had the conversation with them.
yeah. I think it's important if you got say you're working one-to-one clients is to have that. How do you celebrate Christmas? What do you do for Christmas? And how can we make your training fun, exciting, or schedule a break midway through it so that you can do all the things you want to do and still. I suppose the issue is not falling off the wagon completely, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's how you manage that as a coach.
yeah. And I mean, I think you can do it in many ways, but in terms of just understanding the client in the first instance, is you have to have the conversation, but do it early enough. Like, don't do it on Christmas Eve. Like, oh, hey, do it for Christmas.
Have a Zoom 8 p.m. Christmas Eve. Right, let's talk about Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Have the conversations earlier. Um, but yeah, that momentum thing is big for coaches as well. I think. I know we're not talking about that one as yet, but if you lose momentum throughout this period, because coaches might just like stop
Yeah,
doing stuff,
yeah,
then it's harder to pick back up, especially in the new year.
yeah. Because obviously, as coaches, we celebrate Christmas as well, and it's important to have some downtime, some time off work, and I think it's the thing about I suppose that in the fitness space, but also an entrepreneurial space because I'm in that group as well. It's always there's this two mindsets like no we're powering through Christmas, productivity mindsets still up at 4 a.m. and a lot of people are like well I don't want to do that, I want to have time off, and certainly in some circles it's like oh well money never sleeps, you must be got to be on it all the time. And then you've got all those people saying, "Yeah, well, I've got my 3 days downtime planned. So I've got let's say Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then like Boxing Day. They're my three down. They're my power recharge days, and then I'm back into it 4 a.m. on 27th or whatever. So there's loads of different. I don't know if you've seen that. I mean, I'm in the entrepreneurial space because of a few of the things courses I've done, and there's a lot of that. There's like, no, we're working on Christmas Day, and I work on Christmas Day because I open the gym for 2 hours. But I'm not sat in there. I'm not sat in there like as a power hour. I'm sat there eating a mince pie, saying hello to my members. I'm not doing anything. I'm not
Yeah,
powering out Christmas Day.
different, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, there is because there is that side of it. Like, I think from a marketing point of view, it's easy to just go, oh, do you know what? I'll just get back on it in the new year,
yeah,
and everyone will be there in the new year, so everyone's going to be wanting my help in the new year. And I think you just assume a lot of things this time. You assume that
yeah,
everyone's going to stop, and you assume that everyone's going to want your help in the new year. You don't actually know those things, so be
yeah.
mindful of it. Yeah,
You know, the biggest assumption people make about gyms is that January is our busiest time of the year, and it
Mm.
really is not. Well, not from my perspective anyway, and I've owned a gym for 13 years. The, the busy time for gyms is actually the end of January, beginning of
Yeah.
February, and actually March becomes the busiest time. And I don't know if that's because people take January off because they're like trying to recover from Christmas, and then February is like, okay, now we're doing this Valentine's Day, and then March is like, got to do something about certain things. You always get that stalwart member who will be there all the time, and we do have a lot of those in ministry who train obviously throughout the year. But like February, March is actually where we see a peak up. Not January is busy. It's busier than December, but it's not like it's not like I'm not swimming in my money pit like was it with this Scrooge guy off DuckTales? I'm not swimming in my money pit in January. It's not like that. You see these memes like gym owners in December is like the gym's empty. Gym owners in January is like money. It's like
Yeah.
not quite like
No, I
that.
agree with that though. Yeah, I think January is like the longest month ever, and then February is really short. So it's just like when people go, "Oh, January's just never ending," and then February just goes by so quick, and then you're like, "Oh shit, it's March now. I best do something."
I think as well because a lot of people get paid early. I pay my staff early in December. Like so normally I pay on the 25th, but because December 25th is Christmas Day, I pay on like the 20th, 21st, and a lot of people do have that. They have like early pay on Christmas, and it's like an employer's bonus thing. And then so you've got them from the 20th all the way through till like the 25th. So you've got like over 30. Wow, it's like 33 days until you get paid again.
Hmm.
And obviously you've got Christmas and New Year, so there's a lot of spending there and Christmas sales. So that's a lot of time not to have any money. Which is why January is not so much of a busy time for gyms, but February is.
Yeah, yeah, I get that definitely.
And certainly when I was doing physique coaching, I'd have a system where during December I would look to sign people up for January, but I saw the most people coming in around about February time, which sort of fits in with the gym thing as well.
Yeah, for me, it's always been that March April time has been the busiest period of the year.
Mm.
January's never.
No, no, and I think that's the thing is that people take December off, thinking, "Oh, I'll be all right. December's crap because January is going to be booming," and then January isn't booming, and it's like shit. I've lost a load of clients in December, and I haven't got them back in January. They haven't rejoined like they said they were going to do, and now I haven't got any clients in January, and I was expecting big money,
Yeah,
and they haven't got a strategy lined up for January either because they've just started to get back onto it.
that's
So
it.
I think a lot of coaches will see this 2 months of real sort of deadness if they're not careful.
Yeah, just don't take your eye off the ball in terms of marketing. I think it's too easy to get in that mindset of like, oh, it's fine, and then it doesn't take a lot to just still maintain a presence wherever you are, wherever you market. Just
No.
still have some kind of presence so that you're still showing your face or whatever it is, wherever you are, whether that's you send out emails or you use your stories on Instagram or whatever it is, like just have some format that you're comfortable with. I think in this day and age, there's no excuse for not being able to. You can schedule whatever now. You can schedule content and you can schedule emails and you can schedule your freaking Instagram stories if you want. Like,
Can you?
yeah,
Really?
there's no
Wow.
real excuse apart from I just don't want to do it. And I'll be honest, that's fine, but you have to be okay with that. Like, one coach I work with he's like every year religiously, I'm off this time to this date, but he's he communicates it. That's fine, right? But personally, I would have stuff just there to go out. I would shift a lot of focus towards social proof. Like in December, I would just be putting more of my emphasis on social proof, just because potentially people. I mean, you should have a focus on social proof in general anyway, I think, every week. But if you can increase that a little bit throughout this time period, you're probably going to set yourself up a little bit more in the new year. That's
Yeah. There's I did a video the other day about like the 4 areas of content, and you've actually I think it's going out today actually. So with people watching this podcast, it would all be out by now. So don't go. Oh, it's going to be today. But I did this training. It was like there's four content areas, and you've got the friend, you've got the fixer, who's like a teacher, you've got the pimp, and you've got the godfather. And the fixer is like Winston Wolfe because he teaches people how. He doesn't do it himself, so you don't do the stuff for the clients, but he shows them how to do it. And the pimp is the guy who shows all the stuff he's got. You know, like the cane and the. You know, I'm talking pimp in like rap pimp thing, not like pimp on the street corner. He's always showing off, and the Godfather makes offers. So in December you make potentially less offers, but you're leaning more towards the social proof side of things. And also, I suppose it's a good opportunity for showing the friend, which is the personal side of you, because you'll be celebrating Christmas as well. So you might want to back off maybe from the educational content a little bit and the making offers, and go more towards showing what you can do and that you're a nice person to work with.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of shift in where your focus is. But obviously January, February, you may want to come back to making more offers because that's the time people may be thinking about buying.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think over the years I've always had a shift to social proof. Just naturally I was like, well, I feel like I should be putting more social proof out now. So we'd go and like pull all of the client past results, put all the videos, everything, put them into a big folder, and then like I'd work through it and just get those, and I'd put them all out. I know exactly when they were going out, and that always did really well. I never had a negative impact of doing that. I don't think you can from sharing social proof. Right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've had this. I don't know. You've probably had this conversation so many times with your clients, and it's like, oh, I've already posted that. I've already posted that transformation picture, so I can't post it again. Well, yeah, you can, unless your ability as a coach has gone significantly down, and you can't get that result again with people in the next, 6 months or whatever. If you become a shitter coach in 6 months, then don't say you can get this transformation you got 6 months ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where's the
Do you
fun
see the thumbs up coming? It's the new iOS. So the new iOS thing, if you put your thumbs up, see, I've done that, but it hasn't come up. But if I do this, look at that. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, you have. It doesn't work if you actually put your thumbs up. But if you put like a sort of like half thing, yeah, it depends if you're on if you're on the new iOS system for Mac, it works.
Oh.
Yes, but I haven't found any of the gestures. I tried to do like the Italian thing, like that doesn't come up, and other things like swearing doesn't come up. So it must just be the thumbs up at the moment.
Well,
Tangent. So yeah. Hello to all the people listening who can't even see what we're talking about. So what are we talking about? I forgot.
Yeah, just from a retention.
Posting social proof, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you're saying, if you gather up all the stuff you've had during the year, all the WhatsApps, all the client transformations, is obviously if you're coach, whatever, then you could just post them out, couldn't you, on a rotation and have a little caption about what this person achieved in the year working with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine, isn't it? It's not. No one's going to call you out saying, "Oh, you just already posted that 6 months ago." I know because I was following you. Oh, why haven't you joined then? Why haven't you joined my coaching?
No one would know anyway. No one does that.
No one would care.
Yeah. No one. No, I mean I can't remember what everybody posted yesterday. So, but no, I just think having. So yeah, that I think that's a personal thing to me, like the social proof, but it makes sense, right? But I know that from testing it, it's always been a good thing. But then we were talking about some other things earlier on the call, more around if you've got like lead magnet systems and things, potentially anyway. Like I would probably wait till maybe as you get closer to Christmas, even like just after Christmas, of starting to use stuff like that because of maybe ad cost being a little bit higher, like coming into Christmas potentially. Now that Black Friday's finally disappeared, I felt like it was gone for like months. Black Friday.
People start it from like mid-November, don't they? Yeah. And or beginning of November. We ran like a week's promotion for Black Friday, and whenever we do this thing, we always see the biggest uptake right at the beginning, and then a little bit at the end. In the middle is quite. So I don't know. I think however long you run a Black Friday offer for, you get people initially come on board, and then there's a dead bit in the middle, and then people sign up just before the end. That's what we saw anyway with the gym.
Yeah, it was just never ending. And then, so if you've got stuff, you could have things like that running throughout that week. So then that gives you some peace of mind to go, okay, cool. I know that that's happening. I can relax a little bit more. I don't need to feel the pressure so much of like, oh, I've got to create content. I've got to post this content. So that's something that I'm a big fan of anyway. If you've got, say, if you want to go on a holiday or something, you can do the same thing and just have these things running.
Or just be completely open about it. Here's my best. I'm on holiday. Here's my best content from the year. If you didn't see it,
Yeah.
and if you're completely open about it, saying this is what I posted in September, no one's going to say, oh, you posted that in September, because you're like, yeah, this is my best content from the year. I'm on holiday. Here's some of my content you might not have seen before, because you've always got new followers, haven't you? You've always got new people coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's a good time to go through all your insights, see your most responded to and most interacted with posts, and then just repost them.
Yeah.
Another thumbs up. But yeah, be completely honest about it and say it's a repost, and obviously the content's still relevant, and then you wouldn't have to even think about what to post, and that post has already got good traction before, so you probably a good bet it's going to be getting good traction in December as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything more on sort of retention stuff in January? In December.
No, it's just those bits, setting stuff, early conversations, challenges, fun.
Cool.
A lot of that comes down to conversation, really, I think.
Yeah, it's individual for the coaches, isn't it? What their clients do during December,
Probably.
and how their niche behaves as well.
Yeah, maybe a good one to touch on though, just briefly on that, is how you might manage your client base over that time period as well, because you might want to take time off. So make sure that's part of the conversation. When are you taking time off? What does it look like? How can a client still get support? And if there is a change into the process some way, like we used to run like a group call, so you could have a drop-in call and come into it rather than doing the updates, because what is Christmas on a Monday this year? Or I can't remember.
Yes, it is. It's it's Monday, and New Year's is on a Monday as well, I think.
Time checking day for coaches, so like maybe you don't want to be doing them on Christmas Day, so potentially think about that now.
Are we doing our podcast on Christmas Day if it's a Monday?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be at the gym as well, because I open the gym 10 till 12.
Yeah,
so our podcast normally recorded at 11. So we can do if you come to the gym. I'm sure your family would love that. Do a live from the gym, live podcast, Christmas podcast with guys.
It's like 7 in the morning. I've just got to drive to Bristol. What? Oh. Dear.
Do you know? Interestingly, we've tangent again. When I opened ministry, no gym in the city was open on Christmas Day. There was only a couple around the country. I think Monster Gym and a few others opened on Christmas Day, but we were the only gym in Bristol to open up. And people like to me saying, "Why are you opening up? Just have a day off." And it's so stupid. And the response was, well, actually, it might seem stupid to you, but there's a lot of people on Christmas Day who don't have family because their family lives away, or they don't have family because they're deceased or whatever. Their friends are away, or their friends of with their family. And so on Christmas Day, it's the loneliest day of the year for them. And Christmas Day is, I think there's a statistic about a high number of suicides or something like that as well. I'm not too sure on that. But it's a lonely day for a lot of people because no shops are open, nothing's open. So a lot of people sit at home on their own, doing nothing on Christmas Day, watching all these things about people having family Christmas movies. And it's really depressing. And I've been in that situation where I was in Bristol on my own. My family live away, and we get together afterwards. And me and my mate at the time, we went to the gym he was manager at, and he opened up. We had a session on Christmas Day, and I thought, this is mint. I have an hour or so with my mate, and I go back and I can have my food, and I'll see my family the next day.
Yeah.
So that's what I brought into ministry. I was like, I'm going to open up so people who can't go to the pub because maybe they're alcoholic, and they're recovering. That's another thing. They can come, train, or just potter about, chat to people, and go home, and they've had some social interaction for that day. And I think the first year we opened, it was we had about 10, 12 people, and the year before lockdown was 70. That's how many people came in those 2 hours. And on the lockdown Christmas, because we were open, we were allowed to open between, it was November was lockdown, wasn't it? And then January, so December was open, and then like January was lockdown again. In that December Christmas was our busiest Christmas ever, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And in that time, from us opening 13 years to us now, every other gym in Bristol opens now on Christmas Day.
Yeah. It's good.
No,
It's a good thing to do
trend
that.
setters.
Yeah. I've been. I think I've been to the gym here on Christmas Day a few times.
I'd imagine that Gaines does open on Christmas
Yeah, they
Day.
do. The other one's open 24 hours anyway. And it's not the same. But yeah, the Gaines one's good. Everyone comes down in like Christmas jumpers and that. It's good.
Yeah, it's just it's just a brilliant time. It's just a nice, and people are, why are you doing that? But we set it at 10 till 12 so people can open their presents with their kids, and then come down to train, and then go back for lunch. So
Yeah.
it works perfectly for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still get people saying, "Oh, it's stupid. Just have a day off." Okay, you have a day off, but the 70 people who want to come to the gym and train, they can come and train. So what harm are they doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about potential strategies for setting up people in January, and getting new client acquisition in January stroke February.
Oosh. I mean, there's nothing stopping people taking action before that, really. But
Of course, yeah.
yeah, because you can still have people who want to take action in December. Like we mentioned before, though, it's just you getting clear on what you want from it, and then commit to something rather than going, I don't know, I'm just going to hope that something happens in January. Have some kind of structure.
Hope that all these people just fall into my inbox,
Yeah.
slide in my DMs, asking for a transformation for 997.
Yeah, but have some kind of focus around it, because you could get people sign up now if you could have incentives to get people to come on coach now. Like they could start now. We've had coaches give incentives for December, help them out in December, get December free, save their place for the new year, like set their start date, whatever works for them really, but have at least a structure behind it. But we've got a system that we run for the last I think it's the fourth year. We've changed every year. We've tweaked it, and it runs through from Christmas Day actually. So through that week, Christmas Day to the New Year. That's something that we've tweaked. We used to run it for the coaching side of things, and it works really well for it works for one-to-one coaching. But the best time it ever worked was for when we used to do like more of the lower group coaching offers, and we could like pre-sell the whole group before it started, just from having a series of emails that went out to a bit of a wait list that we'd set up. So that was quite cool. But now we refine it each year, and some coaches use it. So
we used to run that similar thing for Target Lean, and because the fun fact, I'm not sure if it is a fact anymore, but it used to be a fun fact that the highest, one of the highest days for shopping, or the times for shopping, is Christmas Day afternoon. I can't believe that, can you?
Yeah.
But it makes sense because you've had your Christmas dinner, you sit down, you're in front of the TV, some shit Christmas movies on. I'll scroll my phone. No, I'll buy some stuff because I haven't done enough buying already. And people start their Christmas sales, don't they? Like Christmas Day, like 2:00 Christmas Day. So it makes sense to promote and sell a program in those sort of 6 days, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird week, isn't it? It's not much going on, but then people are on their phones more. So why not take an opportunity like that? I mean, you don't need to, but yeah, so there's stuff like that. I think you can do a lot of things now to set up for the new year. So like we spoke, if you've got lead magnets that potentially are perfect for your clients, I'd be driving people towards that as a real thing of value, so that then you could maybe in the new year have something else that then goes out to those people, or I don't know, maybe you have a lead magnet that then goes into like a workshop or training that then you sell off the back of that. So there's different ways, but it can start now rather than going, I'll wait till the 1st of January and then start that process.
Yeah, we have a system called the STAR system, which is actually like a 4-week launch for the program, and we start it around about sort of the 1st or 2nd week of December. and it sort of builds up to, I suppose, like a January like offer. But the key thing about it is that it encourages conversations through December. So, like, if you want more details, message me, whatever. We say it started in January, but there's nothing to stop people if they've had a conversation with you and they're willing to, they want to get a bit of a jump start, like you said. And you can say, well, it officially starts in January, but if you sign up now and pay or pay a deposit, it will officially start for January for you, but we can get some groundwork done in December. And that does take the pressure off, oh, everyone's got to sign up in 1 week in January. Because actually, if you're talking to people through December, you can sign up people in those 4 weeks. And if you want to officially start them in January, fine. But some people do want to start early. And like you said before, you don't want to ignore the fact that some people don't want to start on the 1st of January. Some people want to start December the 15th and give themselves a week of like smashing it so they can have a week off over Christmas and then get back to it afterwards. Almost like a rolling start coming into January rather than what for most is like a jump start. Again, this is assuming January is people when people want to start, but
Yeah, this the main thing is there's going to be people who want to take action.
Yeah,
and you should still maintain some form of presence there, and then you can give people the option. Then, so as long as you've got it out there, you could run that. Well, we spoke about this earlier. Actually, you could still do things like in the lead up to it. So, because some people really need support over Christmas, so it's a really tough time. I think you mentioned around the gym side of it, but like from an emotional eating point of view, or like a regulation of food, and the Christmas can be a really hard time for people. And I think sometimes it gets trivialized in the fitness space where I've seen it already. I've already seen it. Like
people giving permission.
No, but like the navigating Christmas survival guides and all that.
Oh right, yeah.
And I get the jest involved in it, but some people do find it really difficult to navigate Christmas, or they find those external pressures that aren't normally there in the rest of the year. So to kind of poke fun of it, it's a little bit short-sighted, I think, sometimes, because I definitely work with some coaches whose their client base, they freaking struggle around this time of year. And it's not a nice period of time where everyone's like having fun and enjoying themselves. And it fills them with dread and like anxiousness. And so you think there are people who need help. So why can't you provide your services for them?
Yeah. Funnily enough, one of my most popular posts ever on Instagram was one I did at Christmas saying, it's something along the lines, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was, at Christmas time, if someone was an alcoholic, you wouldn't say to them, I'll just have one drink, it's okay. Because that would be wrong. But saying to someone who is trying to control their eating and is trying to have a good relationship with food, I'll just have a load of Quality Street, it won't matter for one day. That's okay, is it? And it's it's true because food can be an addiction, but also alcohol isn't necessary for survival, whereas food sort of is. You do need to eat to survive, so you can't avoid taking it. You can't just go teetotal, so you have to manage that. And like you were saying before, there's some people who really do need help with that, and that used to be the people I worked with. And to say to them, "Oh, just have something. It's okay. One day won't have. Oh, just relax over Christmas." But that's the issue, isn't it? They relax over Christmas, and then they're right back into that hole they're trying to get themselves out of for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And that post was always my most popular post over Christmas. It's like thousands of likes, and I never get that sort of reach or whatever. And it was just a little picture with a Christmas pudding on it or something. But yeah, it was mental. So many people liked and shared and commented, "Yeah, this is me during Christmas." Unfortunately, I didn't DM all those people then asking if they wanted to sign up to my Christmas survival guide. But so I learned my lesson now. I will do that again in the future.
Sign up to my 7-day fat loss kickstart.
Yeah. Yeah. Buy my Christmas fat burner.
Yeah, Santa shred.
Just a load of brandy and you set yourself on fire. Okay, cool. So we said we were going to keep podcasts to under 25 minutes. We've managed to hit 40 minutes. So I think that's probably a good point to end on. So take-home message. Dan, what's your take-home message from the podcast today?
Don't stop. That was it. No, I was gonna. For some reason, I had S Club 7 in my head then, and but no, don't stop over this time period. Like, even if you're going to take time off, still have something in place. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always people who do want to sign up in January. There's always people who want to sign up in December, and don't ignore those people for the sake of, oh, you must join in January, or I'm not going to do anything. Make sure that if people want to join, they can join, and you've got, like you said, a plan, so that if you want to take time off, you can post the stuff that you're going to post and still keep your presence there. Don't treat December as like, I won't do anything this month because nothing's going to happen, because that's what's going to happen then, isn't it?
Exactly.
Cool. Right, Dan, thanks for, again, another salvo of knowledge bombs dropped liberally all over the podcast. Appreciate your time.
No, thank
And
you.
I will see you on the next podcast. Thanks for everybody watching or listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.